Hey everybody, we're back here on the bench, and I don't know if you recognize this device, but this is a Tektronix model 222 battery-powered portable oscilloscope, and you can see I've got the cover completely off of it. These originally came with a lead-acid battery that sat in this compartment right here. Anyway, this is a bonehead confessional video here. I have a place I get batteries and flashlights and this and that, and they were having a 20% off sale, so I thought, oh, well, hey, why don't you get the nickel metal hydride batteries for the project to put the battery in the 222. I was using, I'd started out using a couple of 18650 batteries that I soldered some ends to and taped them all up, and they worked all right, but it would die out because it was only about 8.2 volts, 8.4, something like that. And then when it would go, you couldn't use the charging circuit in here because it's not the right charge for lithium ion. So you'd have to take them out, and then I had to kind of cobble them into a makeshift charger to fit into the battery charger for these lithium ion batteries there. That sucked. So I saw Mr. Carlson had done a series parallel 14 AA batteries. So I ordered the batteries, and they came yesterday, and I was all excited, and I'll show a picture of this because this is all taped up, of course, now. But anyway, I soldered a copper loop with a little fiberglass silicon insulator in between. Got it all soldered down good. Nothing got warm. I soldered the this is the adapter for the battery for the that goes right in here on the chassis into the circuit board for the battery power. And I'd gotten distracted, and somebody came to the door, and just as I'd finished this up, I was getting ready to solder this wire on, and I had to go away for a little while. I came back, soldered it on, taped it all up, and plugged it in, and I let the smoke out of the board. I couldn't unplug it fast enough, and I was like, what in the heck? And I hadn't checked, and what I had done is I'd reversed the polarity on the battery pack and started at the wrong end with my negative, and I'd reversed it. This was plus 8 volts here and minus 8 volts on the red, and it made that stinky little smell, and you can see the smoke coming out of the back and out of the sides because this was all enclosed, and I about cried. So anyway, I started looking around immediately for a schematic to see what I could find. There is nothing except for board level replacement information. I almost spent $20 on the service manual and in DVD form or CD-ROM form, but I kept looking around, and I found on the TechWiki page, TechWiki, they have a free download of the service manual. I downloaded that, and it tells you how to take this thing apart safely. So no schematic. There's a block diagram and some troubleshooting help, but that's about it. I managed to get this thing all apart. I've had this all the way out, and I determined that this you can't really see it in there because, well, I got a crappy camera. But right down in there to the left, there's a whole bunch of small, like 4.5 by 3.2 millimeter surface mount inductors. And they measured, got out the EE LCR meter, and most of these are right around 1.5 to 2 microhenry. And so this one here, though, it had like 40 millihenry, and the rest were reading in ohms of less than like 0.08 ohms. I was measuring that with this and my Agilent 1252A. And this one, the one I suspected that was the most discolored and had a bunch of, looked like it had boiled the any rosin solder or rosin out of there, that maybe some flux had been left on the underneath it after it was wave soldered. Anyway, it's 8/800K. So anyway, that's got to be the issue. And fortunately, I plugged it back in. It still works off AC power, so I know that it didn't destroy the switch mode power supply in. And I plugged this in, and battery, no voltage is not getting past this this inductor. So fairly confident that's the issue. I went to the DigiKey and ordered an inductor today. And while I had this out, there's a 1000 microfarad 35 volt capacitor on the main board right next to the switch mode power supply, and I ordered a replacement for that just so I won't have to go back in here and replace, get that replaced within a really high quality Nishikon 10,000 hour 105 degrees Celsius service. So, and it lives right underneath the CRT here. Anywho, pretty easy to take apart. I mean, there's just a few screws and it comes right apart. This, I took all apart. I've got some pictures I'll post of this. Where are we on time? Anyway, we got a couple of minutes left. I took, disassembled it, put it back, wired this in the correct, so black is negative and the red is positive. And this is wired so this will, if you plug it in either way, there's only two of these are hooked up, so you'll get it. This will work either way now. This should be a great little deal. It's quite a bit heavier than the 2 lithium ions, obviously, because of nickel metal hydride chemistry. But hopefully in the next couple days, I will get the replacement inductor and the capacitor. I'll take this apart, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll use a hot air to desolder that, and then I'll solder back on, and we'll get going again. All right, I'll see you later.